Welcome back to the Coastly Distinct podcast. It's your boy Black Adam. I'm back on the scene. I'm glad you guys been hitting me up on topics, things that you guys want to discuss, even opinions that you guys been hitting me up in the DM, man. Look, I'm not by myself on this. My co-host is coming. India is coming. I'm glad she joined because she had a feminine perspective when it comes to certain topics. So I'm glad you guys could spill off information to her. But guys, I'm glad that you guys tuned in, and all the support is welcome. Thank you guys who subscribe to the show. Hey, India, how you doing, man? I'm good to see you. You all right? So, guys, anyway, I also like to give a big shout out to my sponsor, 605 Adult Beverages, also Red Core Universe. Much love to you guys. Guys, we have some special guests in the building today, and it's actually, you know what? It makes a lot of sense if you guys listen to sports, look at sports. You have family that's in sports, friends, neighbors. We have two mothers that have some type of affiliation with professional sports. And I wanted to bring them on the show because they're doing something peculiar in our community. And it's something that's unspoken of and unheard of. So I wanted to bring these two individuals on. I'm going to pronounce their names. Let's see. I can get it right. All right. Y'all know I'm from New Orleans, so my name's I get the names kind of, conflicted. But before I introduce the two ladies, how you doing, Miss India?
I am fantastic, y'all. How y'all ladies doing today?
Hi, India. How are you?
Good.
I love the bold red lips. It's making a statement.
You.
I love it.
And the blonde against the blonde is
right.
It matches my hair, right? My hat. It matches my hat.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You gotta dig it in some kind of way, ladies. You know?
Of course.
Well, guys, I'd like to welcome to the show Miss Lachauna Edwards.
Oh, man. Lachauna.
I told you yesterday.
We had a test for it before we went live, but
Lachauna Edwards.
Yes.
And Andrea Odum.
Yes.
How you doing, ma'ams?
We are good. How are you?
I'm great. And I forgot the brand. Hold up. I got to represent the brand. And the brand is Black Sports
Moms.
Yes.
Nice.
How you guys doing today?
Bam. We're good.
There we go. So
I love it.
Before we even get started, I want to know the name in itself. How did the name come about?
So our name came about after a partnership that Lachauna and I did during Black History Month. And after we started talking, we found that there was a synergy not only between the two of us with our skill sets, but there's a need in the Black community for this service. So Black Sports Moms, one, we're both Black and we have children that are athletes. My son Dylan got drafted by the Dodgers and he now is with the Phillies organization. So we went through college athletics, we went through the draft, and we went through that process. And I know you're no stranger to that process as well. So we came together with Black Sports Moms to create a empowerment community so we can educate moms and do some of this on their own with agency, with representation, with negotiations, and just give them the confidence and the education and the power to take their child's athletic career into their own hands.
That's beautiful. I'm a Philly native, so I'm so glad to hear that he's a part of Phillies.
We're excited.
So I have a question for you guys. So now when it comes to negotiation and the handlings, because for context, a lot of people don't understand what goes on in the background when dealing with athletes.
Mm-hmm.
Is this something that you guys find hard or complicated when dealing with these type of negotiations or these dealings with different individuals when it comes to organizations?
I'm glad you asked that because I don't say that it's easy, but it can be learned. And I feel like we have an environment has been created where people are automatically thinking that it's too hard for me. I'm not gonna be able to do it. And I say all the time, listen, every single agent, every single person that's in this industry learned it. So if you get the education, then you potentially can go ahead and do this. But I always do say maybe you want still some legal help because there's still maybe some legal phrases, legal things that you're going to learn. But this can be learned. There are negotiation courses. There are things that I learned how to do contracts in law school. So all of this can be learned. And if we change the narrative around how we even speak of it, we start to empower women more who feel like they can actually get into this space. But thus far, everything has been told basically that it's going to be too hard, it's too complex. And I truly believe that it is designed that way to keep us out of it. Yeah. So I'm trying to demystify that, breaking down contract language, helping them, I was actually just on a call with the mom earlier today. We are helping her son transfer to a different school. And the woman she was for that very first school when we were talking is not the woman who we are today. She is very bold. Now I said, okay, girl, I like it. She said, yeah, I've been reading up and I've been following and understanding what you're doing. And so that brings me energy to know that, hey, she realized I can do this. I just needed some guidance. And that's what we're here to do.
And I'll add to that also, like she said, it's just being bold. Sometimes, especially with an agent negotiation and going through the process, like we were going to get to the draft and our agent said, hey, we're going to fly you and your family out and the siblings. And we're like, okay, great. Well, then after it was all said and done, they're like, oh, we're just going to be able to fly the athlete out. And I put my foot down. I was like, well, he doesn't get on the plane until we all get on the plane. Mm-hmm. And so you have to have that pause and you've got to have that confidence to be able to negotiate. And sometimes it's like playing chicken, but we want to make sure that our moms have the confidence and have the tools, the words, and the resources to back it up. And Lachauna, please give them a little bit of background about your information because I went into mine, but she's my other half powerhouse.
Yes, I was going to ask her.
Yes. So I'm an attorney. Obviously, I mentioned that already. I've been practicing law for 12 years now. So I'm assisting in contracts. I'm helping them review contracts. I'm helping them negotiate. I have helped some negotiate. I'm more in the NIL space than anything, but also helping with that brand partnership. I'm also have a background in social media and branding. So I'm having conversations with them about how do you start to position that social media presence for opportunities. I taught a course I'm bringing into the Black Sports Moms umbrella now called Sideline CEO with me educating parents on the whole NIL landscape. So we talked about compliance. We talked about branding. We talk about pitching for partnerships and entrepreneurial endeavors because there's a lot of miscommunication or misinformation about NIL. And the only thing people hear of is the NIL collective, that big check that everybody hears about the athlete getting. But I'm teaching how do we actually take this point in this child's life and monetize it in entrepreneurial ways. Mm-hmm. So it's not just that collective check. How do we build a business and a bigger brand for your child? And then we close out with making sure we protect that brand. So intellectual property, we're talking about, like I said earlier, the red flags and contracts. We're talking about making sure you have the business entity and then a little bit of finances. But my goal is to empower the entire family, well, especially the mama, who's often known for being that, head of decision maker in these scenarios.
So can you tell us what the difference is, Adam, what the difference is between your organization and a mom that would be a manager for their child? Can you explain that?
So I think we work in tandem with a mom who wants to be a manager for their child. We have 3 distinct moms that we are targeting. We want the mom who just wants information. Like, I don't want to handle it. I just want to be informed. Okay. When we were going through the draft process, I never want another mom to have the deer in the headlights look. Mm-hmm. Because now that I know what I know, I would have done things differently. So the second type of mom that we are targeting is the mom who wants to be able to work alongside her agent. I don't want to do the agency thing, but I do want to have an active role. For example, in our contract, we did a carve out for marketing and brand deals because any marketing and brand deals that I brought to the table, I didn't feel like the agent should be paid on. Right. And so again, it's telling the moms, the agents will say, oh, that's standard language in the contract. Well, anything can be changed. You just have to ask for it. And then the third type of mom is the mom who wants to be like Lamar Jackson's mom, who wants to take over complete representation. I want to manage my child. I want to negotiate the agency. I want to do all of that and I can keep it in house. And so there's something for everybody. So we work alongside of the momagers.
Yep. That's exactly
right. That makes sense.
So, so it's funny you said that because that's a perfect example, that Lamar Jackson example, because if you guys follow, you saw how his contract went, and it took the teams a long time to negotiate it because they felt that his mom wasn't resourceful enough to negotiate the contract, even though they got the deal done. But it took a long time. So my question is, respect of knowledge, do you think that these organizations, these collegiate teams, these leagues, you think they respect the moms in position to do things like that for the kid?
No, I do not think they do. I think that's part of what we want to do is change that narrative, because in order to get the respect, I think you have to have the education, you've got to have the support, and you have to have done the work. I do intend to get my MLB certification as an agent. Am I going to represent my child? Probably not, but I'm going to have the knowledge. And so I can know and I can walk in those rooms. A lot of this stuff is relationship driven. So I'm not saying anybody can't do it, but that's why we distinctly pointed out the 3 different types of moms, because everybody doesn't want to be like Lamar Jackson's mom. But I don't think the respect exists currently. And I think that I think the landscape is changing as it relates to women in sports, period. And we're happy to be a part of that movement.
Bam, exactly. But even to bring it to an NIL space, I often talk about there's a mom, Flau'jae Johnson, who's on the LSU women's basketball team. Her mom, Kia Brooks, is killing it. She's her representation. They are killing it. They are one of the top earners in NIL. So her mom is part of that shift that's happening right now. And I believe there are a lot more moms. If you just heard just like 2 months ago, Regina Jackson, Jaden Daniels, quarterback of Washington, she just took the NFL agent exam. I think, we don't know if she's going to take on that full role, but there is a shift in how women feel they can take space in this industry. And then there's just always been a desire to be educated. And so we are here to offer that opportunity and to partner and go and guide them. As she said, we have the 3 tiers of moms. Who do you want to be? Girl, we got you at each level.
And I'll add to that, we had an amazing mom we had a draft moms call the other night to meet with all of our moms who have sons preparing to go to the draft. And CJ Stroud's mom joined us on the call, and she runs his foundation. So she has a role in his career, but he also has a team of people. She doesn't manage it, but that's a perfect example. The mom who wants to be involved, the mom who has an extremely high profile athlete. And so she jumped on the call and talked to the moms and gave them tips. And it's really about building a community, because what we want is we don't want any mom to be alone. If you're in Wisconsin and you're the only Black on your team, there's a network of moms across the country that will provide you resources and support.
That's beautiful. I like that.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I think that's amazing.
We're super excited. And we're new. We launched last Friday. So tomorrow is our 1-week anniversary. We just launched.
Really? Yeah, ladies, congratulations.
Thank you.
Killing it already.
Man, we came out swinging, and so we're excited.
Oh, that's great. Congratulations. Awesome.
Thank you.
So I have a question. When it comes to different types of sports, does it matter? Like if we're talking about, NHL or NBA, or does it matter when it comes to, how the business works, or is it all pretty much similar?
Partner, I'll let you jump on that one first.
So there are obviously going to be differences, right? So, Andrea, you could even speak just from the baseball and how you move into the professional space is going to be different from football and basketball. But at the end of the day, it's all business. And that's what I teach my families. It's business at the end of the day. So yes, there may be nuances that differ in terms of how your child moves within the space, or what types of contracts or the different opportunities that come to your child. But at the end of the day, it's business. And there are a lot of overlapping things that are, kind of across the board in terms of how the business side of it operates, or the different contracts that may come up, or the different, pieces of running that side of the sports business that are going to overlap across all of them.
Okay, that makes sense.
Question. And this is a deep question now. I want y'all to get deep. All right.
Let's go.
So first of all, congratulations. I thought you guys were doing this longer than what you guys have been doing it, because you guys have the passion and you already have that spark of like different women that's already in this field, and they just was waiting for somebody to say, Carol, look, I'm about to join you, because we've been doing this, but
exactly what it was.
We never had a tribe to do it, and now you guys are igniting this fire, right?
Yeah.
My thing is this: Rich Paul said this. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Rich Paul.
That's my son's agent.
So Rich Paul said this. He said the reason why he became an agent because, like you said earlier, Andrea, most of these agents have been doing this for years. It's all relationship based. They don't even go in the office. They just know the GM. They know the owner. Look, pick this guy up in the 7th round. We need this. Blah, blah, blah. And Rich said these guys are not bargaining or not getting the best deal that's good for them. And they really don't have really proper representation if they're not a top 10 or top tier athlete. Oh, my question to you guys, when do personal and business, when do they separate? Because this is your baby at the end of the day. And as a mother, you know, you want the best for your child, but at the same time, those motherly instincts do play a part. But
I will tackle that one. And we actually talked about that on the call with CJ's mom, because there is a shift that has to happen as a mom, and it has to happen on the mom side, and it also has to happen on the child side. Because my son said, well, Mom, how am I going to look having my mommy on all my Zoom calls? And so I said, well, honey, you have to look at it. I'm your business partner because this is a business. And so conversely, I have to look at my son who's 22, who is now finding his own voice. And I've got to listen to him. And this is not just Mother Knows Best, because now we're operating a business. So I have to hear his voice, and I've got to understand the things that he wants to implement. And I also had to let him learn. This is our second agency. And after the first agency kind of wasn't doing some things, and he was like, no, Mom, give him a chance. And I said, okay, well, what do you think we should do? He said, okay, I think we give them 60 days and we see what they're going to do. And if they're not doing what they need to do, then we move on. And I fell back. I was like, okay, I knew what was going to happen. I knew that that we weren't going to continue that relationship, but he needed to see it. And so I let him have that process. So that was me giving, and then him giving as well, letting me be the business partner. And then when it was done, I just said, okay, just please let me fire him now that it's done. So
is that something else that you, is that something else that you teach in your organization too? Or is that going to be a part of it when it comes to?
Okay. It is. Great. It's empowerment. So the words that we harp on are empower, confidence, and education. Because if you don't have the confidence to draw a line in the sand when you're negotiating, whether you're negotiating for a podcast studio or whether you're negotiating for building space, it's negotiation. Business is business. Yep. But we want to give the women the confidence to be able to say, this is not what we're doing. And Adam, going back to your point, when you have the education, then you can demand a different level of respect.
Absolutely.
And from a very practical sense, I also am telling my families very early on. So I'm talking to families where their children are in high school, and they're already being sought after for these NIL, either agency representation or NIL opportunities, depending on what state they live in. But I say, number one, we also need to have a very professional presence. So when you're communicating, if you're going to communicate on behalf of your child, then make sure you guys have an official email. Label yourself as the manager and not just, hey, I'm such and such mom. So in a very practical sense, we're already putting this out as a professional presence and not just my mom's on my Zoom call. No, that's my manager. And when we're in these calls, that's my manager. I'm referring to my manager as opposed to my mom. So in a very practical sense, but we'll be diving into all of that and, helping them understand, listen, we're a team at the end of the day.
Right. That makes sense. So I had a question. When it comes to like agents, right? And I was listening to, I think it was Pivot was the podcast, and he was
love them.
Yeah, right. Aren't they awesome?
Love.
Yes, and they were talking about like one of them actually didn't have an agent, and he would use the resources of what the team was supposed to have. So therefore, if it was their financial or their lawyer or whatever the case may be, and it was just like, yeah, that's how I was able to kind of negotiate my own situation for his contracts and things of that nature by utilizing what was already there instead of using an agent. What's your take on that? Do you think, just your opinion about that?
I think that's great. And we ping that same clip back and forth between each other. And we're going to actually kind of dissect that as a case study, because that is actually how you do it. Use the resources that you have. Yeah. Because you can do a lot of things on your own. And so another thing that we make sure with, our moms and our athletes, that we know. What are you asking your agency for? What do they give you on draft night? Are they sponsoring? Are they catering? Is there media? Are they paying for your travel? So yeah, we want to make sure that you're using all the resources, because every mom is not going to want to do it on their own. So use the resources that the agency has given you. Agents are not bad. Agents can be your friend, but we need to partner with them effectively.
Right, exactly.
That's important. That's important that you know that. Like being an athlete and being in that stage or that level of profession, I didn't have an agent either. I went as a non-drafted free agent, so I didn't need an agent. I just did all the negotiations myself, and I went to HBCU, so I know how to negotiate things anyway. So, but I want to talk about the money, because what Lachauna said.
Oh.
Lachauna.
Lachauna.
Yeah,
Well, Lachauna said the NIL. Everybody knows this money is just out here. It's just like money. And the thing is, these kids are 17, 18, 19 years old, and they're getting $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 cash, right? That's life-changing money for some individuals. When I say some, probably 80, 95% of these individuals getting this money. And if the mother is representing them that never had this type of bread to come into the household, who educates them in that fashion? Because a person that never had it can't educate the person who has it, if that makes sense.
No, I think you're right. I think there are the three types of moms that we talked about, but then there's also different types of families. You do have families who have the pressure on that athlete's back, like, hey, we can't get out and do this without you. We also have families who are like, listen, I'm good. I'm good with what I got. I want to support you so you can go shine. So, I mean, I think you can't out counsel culture and sometimes the background and the cards that somebody was dealt, right? But we can help them manage it better, and we can help them be more confident, and we can help them be more polished. One of the things that I do for my clients is media training. Let's practice. Let's practice how you're going to speak. Let's do a cold call and see how you're going to run this meeting. So I think we can help these moms. And yes, it is life-changing money. And we also have a team, financial advisors, different resources that we will recommend if somebody is lacking in a particular area.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. I like that.
Thank you.
Yes, it's amazing. What about when it comes to moms and dating? So not for your dating, but I'm talking about your child dating. And distractions, especially when it comes to high schoolers that are making that money. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they have them little girls that might be a little fresh, and so, or even the women that are in the possibly going to be going to the WNBA. How do you coach moms on how to navigate with that? Because at the end of the day, they are still adults, but very young adults.
That's a good question, India. Oh my goodness, that's a good question.
That is a great question, and I think Andrea has the best response for that.
So here's what I say. It's already hard enough being an athlete. And Adam, I know you can speak to this, because being an athlete comes with a lot of sacrifice. You miss things, you miss social things, because you are dedicated to getting to the next level. And there are not very many athletes that make it to the next level. So I encourage all moms to encourage healthy relationships. It helps if the people that your sons or daughters are choosing, come from a good family and have a good background. And so I think for me, the way that I raise my children, I want to have open communication. I want to talk to their partners. I want to get to know them. I want them to also see that my children have a good, strong family support behind them. And I'm not saying that anybody's going to be immune from people taking advantage of them. But I think when you look and you see that you have a strong, fortified village, you kind of understand like, oh, okay, this person has a strong fortress of support around them. So it's not one person where I'm just going to be able to bend his ear and, take advantage of anybody in that situation. So we want our kids to have healthy relationships. We want them to have fun. We want them to enjoy the fruits of their labor. So, picking a good life partner, that's a whole separate podcast.
So in closing, all right, what's the future for Black sports mom? Because if from a man looking at it, I already see where it's going. Because Black women are all together. They Or
we of course 92,
yes.
baby.
I was about to do the same thing.
Yes.
I can see it going. I can see it. So where's the future for Black Sports Mom?
We have so many amazing things that we are planning ahead, but the most important of them is community. And so we are going to be hitting different cities. Oh, actually, no, let me pop that out.
Yes, pop that out. We're hitting different cities.
Okay.
Yes, we are. We're just not saying when and where, but absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, say it with your whole chest. We hitting different cities.
We in different cities. We are creating, different communities. We want to tap into the mom who's maybe in, like Andrea said earlier, that sport where there's not many other Black kids. How do we partner you with other women who can have and share an experience? We have the events. We are doing the ongoing coaching and guidance because what many of these women want, like she said earlier, hey, can we go through this call before we hop on and talk through this meeting? Can you jump on this with me? Can you talk me through this deal? Can you talk me? And we want to be that ongoing guidance. And so this is going to be incredible. It's already incredible. We have gotten an overwhelming response already. I have been, helping mothers for a little while now. And so Andrea was just that missing piece. We are both very fired up and I'm so excited because there has been a gap in this industry for that Black mom's voice for so long. And I often say, Black women birth the greatest athletes in the world. Yeah. Why are we not in this space?
Absolutely.
We coming, like Dion said.
And I'll add to that, our first event is in Houston on July 19th at the amazing Post downtown. Okay. So it is a one-day conference. It is the first Black Sports Moms Summit. So we are looking forward to having a room full of women from across the country. We have women already who have booked from multiple states. Like I said, we launched this on Friday. Yeah. So the response has been overwhelming. So now we are sending out sponsorship packages, sponsorship opportunities, and we are just excited to make a fun weekend, educational and empowering weekend for these moms in Houston in July. So we're excited. I want to add one more thing about how our partnership started, because women don't have to compete with other women. Women can partner with other women and change the world. She lives in Atlanta. I live in Houston. We started this business sight unseen. We still have never been in the same room with each other.
I love it.
Listen, we have done the LLC. We've done the legal paperwork. You can launch a business. If you have an idea and if you have a partner on the other side of that idea that can help fuel you, we are each other's missing piece. Just do it. This goes for men and for women. You can literally do anything that God has given you the talent and the vision and the drive to do.
Amen.
Praise
so
God.
Ladies, thank you so much. Like, this was such powerful information that, of course, obviously people like our viewers are going to be watching and really paying attention to. And even if they don't have a child, I'm sure they know somebody that does, that they can reach out to you.
Absolutely. So please, if you are watching this, follow Black Sports Moms on Instagram, tag a Black Sports Mom that you know. If it's somebody who is going into AAU and who's trying to find the right team, or if it's somebody that's in college or entering the transfer portal, we are equipping ourselves with information to help any and everybody that comes across our path. We also realize that we don't know everything, so we'll plug in other resources, but please give us a follow, and we look forward to sharing our updates with you guys.
Awesome.
That's wonderful.
Congratulations.
Can I be an honorary woman for one day?
You may not. No. But you know what? The Culturally Distinct podcast can be a sponsorship package. So look for that sponsorship package in your email, Adam.
Got it. We got it.
Here we go.
See, that's negotiating. That's negotiating.
I think we're negotiating already.
Ask for what you want. Closed mouths don't get fed.
Exactly.
So, guys, I appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. Do you? I know you gave the social media a tag, but do you guys want to tag your personal social media? What you guys got going on also?
I'm at Just a Busy Mom on Instagram.
At Lachauna Edwards on Instagram, on all social platforms, at Lachauna Edwards.
Thank you, man. Look,
all right, perfect.
Thank you guys for coming on. I honestly, this is a blessing. Yeah. This is a charm. And look, the draft is going on right now when this airs. So a lot of sports moms are going to be paying attention. So that meeting, when is it? July the 19th?
July the 19th in Houston. And so let me add too, early bird pricing is open right now. It's only $99 for the 1-day conference. And then after Memorial Day, the price is going to go up. So we have early bird pricing right now.
Okay, great.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. So guys, man, look, y'all heard the information right here on Coast Lead to Sync. You already know what it is. Y'all know how to get in contact with me. If y'all need to get in contact with the two individuals, make sure y'all hit me up, hit India up. India, your social media tag, what is it?
Yes, India_Thomas Johns. Also look at Thomas Johns Consultancy, LLC, your trusted financial source.
There you go. And also, look, India's a good resource. She's a financial guru. She knows everything about finances it is in this world, you know what I'm saying? So that's a good.
Well, yes, ladies, I'm going to advisor. So, yes, I'm definitely going to make sure I contact you guys after this.
See, look at what Black women are doing, right? No, Adam, you cannot be an honorary Black woman for the day. You may not.
Dang it. I gotta get out of here. I gotta pay some bills, but you guys know where to find me. Coast Lead to Sync podcast everywhere. Black Adam. Y'all see me in the streets. Y'all see me in the comments. Whatever. Holla at me. Make sure that you guys do something positive for this week. Make sure you give what you've been given. Be a blessing to someone, and also remember, at the end of the day, guys, I love you guys, and you can't do nothing about it. This is your boy DJ KO. I'm sorry, Black Adam, and I'm out. Peace.
Man, thank you guys.
Thank you.